Hello, everybody, and welcome to game day here at Humboldt Fieldhouse in Bethany College, West Virginia. I'm here today. I'm Jocelyn Nelson with Bree Steek and Heather Grinkley. How are you guys feeling today about the game?
You can go ahead. I'm pretty excited. The volleyball team is doing great this year. I've seen a couple games working here, so I'm excited to see another one for today.
Heather, how you feeling, Heather?
I think today is actually going to be a really good game. Bethany, they're third in the pack, and I think this should be a good game with St. Vincent.
Okay, just to review for you guys a little bit, our last home games here were against Washington and Jefferson and Teal, and we won both those matches by winning 3 sets in a row for each, so we did really outstanding in those. And since you last saw us at our last home game, we have lost in a 3-2 to Geneva, won in a 3-1 to Thomas More, and we have won against Marymount and lost to Christopher Newport. And this has put us in a 3-way tie for our first place standing in the packs, along with Geneva and Thomas More. So both of those actually worked out very well, and now we're in the top runnings for the pack.
I'm ready to win. That's all I can say.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready to kick butt.
Well, Bree, why don't you give us a little bit about our starting lineup today?
Well, today we have sophomore Dakota McKenzie, who is one of the twins who are super tall, taller than the rest of us, maybe even taller than the net. Who knows? She's actually ranked first in the pack with 379 total kills. Yes, 379. Along with sophomore Alexis Castro, Ariel Sanders, and then the senior Kelly Bequette, Mackenzie Lauber, Lindsay Mant, and actually our spotlight today that Heather's going to do for us is Julia Mouch. So Heather, you want to tell us about our spotlight girl for the day?
Sure. Well, today's Bison Spotlight is Shines on Junior Julia Mauk, who comes into the contest just 32 digs, shy of reaching 600 for the second straight year. With 4 matches remaining in the regular season, as well as the PAC Championship tournament looming, Mauk is poised to surpass her previous career high of 642. So far this season, Mauk has totaled 27 double-digit dig performances. Of those 27, 12 have been 20-plus outings. And of those 12, she has eclipsed 30-plus digs 3 times. Well, it is outstanding, so.
Yeah, she has been an amazing leader for this team, and you really see her a lot out on the court. She's not shy to talk to her players when she's out there. She's very vocal and just a visible leader for the team.
Yeah, definitely.
Julia is actually the team's libero. Did I say that right? Libero. And she's, even though she's that specific spot, she is all over the court helping her teammates. She's in constantly. Last home game, she had a slight quad problem. She stretched it and was back out like nothing was a problem at all. Yep. She's definitely a team player and ready to go for the day.
And that's, you really got to admire her stamina because she plays the entire game almost and does absolutely amazing. You never see a loss of energy with her. She's just a huge leader for the team.
Energizer bunny of the team.
Really, though, she's always, like, she's down, she gets right back up. I don't know how she does it.
And another huge standout we see on the team is our setter. The setter is such a key player for volleyball. She's the one that sets up for our attackers, Alexis Castro, Ariel Sanders, Dakota McKenzie, so they can get those amazing hits and kills that really build up our points.
Yeah.
And she's just proven to really show her skill. You see her do every type of set. She'll bump it so she can set. She'll set it overhead. She'll set it behind her head where she can't even see the hitters and she doesn't know if they're there or not. It shows a ton of trust for her team, and she's just been a real standout this year, definitely.
And she's actually ranked first in the pack for her total assists, so that's a big deal. So we have 2 girls now ranked in the packs for what they do best, but to her and Dakota. So our girls are definitely standing out and ready to give it their all.
Yeah, she really is. And she's another leader on the team that I can see being captain next year. She's only a junior going into her senior year. We brought in a few freshmen and sophomore setters, but you still see Mackenzie Lauber mainly playing that role, and we'll expect the same thing tonight.
Yeah.
Well, the sophomore class definitely dominates the volleyball team. It's humongous, and they're so successful and so powerful for each other. They're going to grow up together. They have a young team, so the next couple years are going to be still good for them for sure.
Yeah, it's a young team, so with half the team being sophomores and juniors, who knows how they're going to be when they're all seniors.
And it is. Even as we've mentioned before, they considered last year almost a rebuilding year, and they even made it so far in the pack, and we expect them to see them go even farther this year and possibly win the pack.
Yeah, I think it's possible if they keep up like the confidence that they have and the strategies that they're using, work together as a team. I think they can definitely become first in the pack.
And we did see our coach for this year and the past few years win an award. Coach Courtney Klein with her assistant coach coaches J.C. Cole and Will Klein. And our head coach, Courtney Klein, actually won an award at our last home match. And the team just loves her. This woman knows how to build a championship team and how to take this raw talent and turn it into something more, and turn it into that extra step.
Well, she actually won an award for her 100th win, and then won, 2 more after that at the same time? So she's even past the 100 line now.
Yeah.
So she's on a roll.
Yeah, she's been absolutely amazing. A fantastic asset to Bethany College athletics and to the volleyball team especially. And you see a lot of the girls really relying on her. She's another one that very vocal from the bench without being a distraction to her team. She's able to give that advice without distracting them from the game and keeping their heads in it and elevating them even further.
Yeah. Same here. She definitely deserved that award. She works so hard, and the team is so good, and it shows that she obviously knows what she's doing, coaching a possible pack, first pack champion.
Yeah.
We're hoping for it. Fingers crossed.
I hope so.
And that's 2 hitters that really we haven't given as much credit as probably is due, because we talked so much about the Twin Towers, and Dakota and Delana are absolutely amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But Alexis Castro and Ariel Sanders have been fantastic, and Ariel Sanders and Mackenzie Lauber are such a power team together in that front line.
It's like double kill for both of them.
Whenever they smack it, I think oh my God, that was my
It's like
face.
I feel it.
I can feel that. I would not get back up if one of them ever spiked my face. I would never recover from that.
No. They're really tough, and they're also very good on the defensive end as far as putting up that wall, putting up that roof, and managing to knock that ball back down and deflect
It's
those
so
hits from the other
effortless.
team.
It's like on
Yeah.
their tiptoes through 5 or
It's
I'd
like
be
a ballerina.
reaching for my life to get above that net.
Yeah. It is. We had our producer comment on how tall the Mackenzie twins were today, and you can just tell them out of any lineup, and they definitely use every advantage that they have.
Yeah.
And that's something the coaches have been really good about, and they know to put those really tall girls in that front row because they already have the advantage of getting up and over the other team's hits.
Yeah. I wonder how both of the Mackenzies would be if they played together in the same setting.
Yeah.
I wonder how that would work out.
We do usually see them play in 2 different spots. It's either
Yeah.
Delana or Dakota on. You don't see them together much, but it would definitely be interesting to see.
I'd be scared. I wouldn't even go out there on the court.
And we are going up today against St. Vincent, and they are 8-8 in the pack. So they're not doing very bad. They're definitely going to present a challenge. While Bison do have a 1-up on them as far as games won already, I don't think they're going to go down without a fight.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be a good game. The fact that they're 8-8, I feel like that's going to make them work even harder to try to get up there and rank up.
And on top of being 8-8, they are 18-11 overall. So they seem pretty middle of the road right now. So we're gonna be interested to see how they do today in the game.
Definitely, yes. I am. I'm interested.
I'm ready for it.
I'm ready for the game.
It is. I'm interested to see how they respond to Ariel Sanders and Alexis Castro and some of our players who have really mastered this jump serve. I'm trying to remember her last name right now. But we have a few girls on the team who do absolutely amazing jump serves, and they're very intimidating as far as when they do get up to the plate.
One player who always stays out to me is actually Haley Sandemeyer.
Definitely.
She's a sophomore. She plays more towards the middle-ish and does more of the catching it. We should do volleyball terms, I think it's a dig.
She does a lot of digs, a lot of bumps. She's very good at setting up Mackenzie Lauber to get those sets. She's very good at directing the ball, and her ball control is fantastic as far as getting it to the setter and completing the set of bump set hits.
She definitely gets the play going and keeps the girls positive, and she's out there a lot too. I see her a lot, and she's always on the ground, always up, ready to go. So I want to see her play today.
And she is. She is our main server. She's the one whose name I was blanking on. Thank you, Bree, very much for catching that. She is an absolutely amazing server. We saw her stay in the serving position for so long in the last home matches that she's had. She doesn't give up that ball easily. She's very good and very intimidating. She had a few aces in the past few games as well. That was very nice.
Did not know that.
Yeah. So anything else you guys want to talk about today? We have 2 seniors playing right now, and that is Kelly Bequette and Julia Malk. So we're going to be interested to see how our seniors do with this being their last year. You're starting to see them get that fire under them. Coach is definitely playing them a little bit more, which is great to see that they're on because they are team leaders, having the most experience.
Definitely.
All right, so any final predictions as we wrap up here?
Predictions? Well, obviously I'm a Bethanian, so I'm going to say we're going to win. I have to go for it. It's my own team.
How do you think we're going to win? Do you think this is going to be a shutout match, or do you think St. Vincent's going to put up a little
sometimes
bit?
we're known for winning the first one, barely losing the second, and coming back again. But I'm hoping to get all 3 games under a W. So I think we got it.
Heather, how are you feeling about it?
I think that we're going to win just because I know how hard the team works and the potential and the talents that they have as a team. So I would definitely say it's going to be a win for the Bison volleyball girls.
And as far as my prediction, we do seem to weaken up a little bit in that second match a lot, in that second set. So I'm betting we're going to win the first set, lose the second, but I'm not thinking by much, and we're going to come back in that third and fourth match to win it.
Yeah, I think so too. It'll be a good game overall. I'm excited.
Okay, well, thank you very much for tuning in to Bison Game Day, and we're going to pitch it to Preview Theater. Stick around and see what happens. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our post-game game day show. I'm here again with Bree Steek, who just got off the sideline, and my co-announcer, Heather Grinkley.
Hello.
So how'd you guys think the game went? I mean, obviously we won, but how did you think that matchup? Did it turn out the way you expected?
I did not. I didn't think it was going to turn out this close. Like, the Bearcats came out very well. They started out kind of slow, but I think once they saw exactly how the Bethany Bison were doing, they definitely amped up their strategies.
St. Vincent definitely came out very strong, a lot harder than I thought they were.
Yeah.
This is why you can't base off of stats.
Yes.
Because it could be anything. They probably could have played harder teams than we did. You never know. I wasn't expecting it. We were really close. I mean, the girls did their best. They did nothing wrong. They were fine. St. Vincent was definitely on their game today.
Yeah, they didn't play like they were 8-8 in the pack at all.
It is. I gotta say, I called it. We had the 1 win, a loss, and then 2 wins back to back. I'm really happy that it turned out that way, though, in that the Bearcats, like I said, really came out in that second set.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, the first set just seemed like a warm-up to them after they got into that second one. They really came full force.
There was a lot of rallies, for sure.
Yeah.
And they just seemed to keep winning those rallies over and over again. And that's why they got those points and won that other game.
And I think definitely from, like, both sides of the teams, there were some missed opportunities with, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not communication.
Miscommunication.
Yeah, miscommunication between both teams.
And it was, and you saw that. I think that's why there were so many timeouts by the coaches.
Yeah.
Coaches really utilized those timeouts on both sides during every single set to just reconnect their team and take that time to get everyone back on the same page.
It seemed like almost after every mistake, it was either Bearcat calling a timeout or Bison calling a timeout, and I think it worked out in both favors. No?
And it is. I definitely got to say, the 2 strong players that I saw that I think really got the Bethany Bison team through it were the combination of Julia Malk and Dakota McKenzie. Both of them played huge roles in scoring points and in rallying their team and just being real leaders within their team.
Definitely, and I was actually excited to see Sadie Carroll, sophomore, come out in the last game. I love watching her play. She did huge stuff for the team. She's a good supporter in general, but the way she works with the girls is great. She was on the floor when she needed to be. She got digs. She even got spike. She spiked it and killed it. Also, like, she could do all that. And see, that's the great thing about the Bethany volleyball team is even though the girls on the sidelines, they can come in and do everything that Dakota and all them can do too.
Yeah.
And that's really good for the Bison team to have those girls who need them, like, to come in for breaks and stuff. So it's nice to have.
There are really no weak links that I saw on either team. As far as the players for the other team, Brittany George, I have to commend for the Bearcats. She was their libero, and she had the most energy I saw out of any girl on either side of the court.
And the coolest jersey. I liked the highlighter color. It was really nice.
But really, she really held her own on the Bearcats team. She held that team together that first set.
Definitely.
Rachel Hast and Emily Vaughn, we were talking about, they were definitely 2 key players throughout this whole match.
Oh, yeah. They scored the vast majority of the points for the Bearcats as their outside hitters. Vast majority of points. And it was. And you saw a lot of teaming up between Courtney Myers and Emily Vaughn as far as on the McKenzie twins. It was. They recognized them as one of the biggest threats from the Bison team and really fought back. But Dakota and Delana, again, showed their amazing power and used their height, their agility, their power to just break through those walls that the Bearcats put up for them.
Yeah, and I think that's how, like, the game came as close as it did towards each other. It definitely wasn't easy, but it was a very, very good game. But now Bison were no longer tied, so I guess it worked out.
And it is. Talk to me a little bit, both of you, about that second set. What was running through your head as we were going into overtime, as we were tied 24-24 and 25-25?
Well, I have to say, I wasn't very happy with the referees. You know, some of them are a little questionable, but of course my angle isn't perfect, but I mean, I'm a Bison, I'm gonna go with anything. But the refs didn't seem very confident today. They constantly changed decision. One person would say out, the other one would say in.
Yeah.
So you're all excited about it, then the girls actually lose it in the end, they gave it to St. Vincent. So I thought it was a little sketchy, sort of, but the intensity for the girls during that game to lose against St. Vincent definitely increased their intensity more for that next 2 rounds to go.
Yeah, and with such a fast-paced game, it was very hard on the officials, and I commend both teams for being really on top of their game as far as paying attention and not being scared to say, can we get a reread on that call? So how did you feel during the second set, Heather?
I think during the second set kind of really set the tone for the Bearcats and the Bison. First set, I think it was mostly just the Bisons because they start off really strong as it is. And I think with the Bearcats, the more they played, the more they try to get like a little mojo type of going. So when I saw that they were tying and then we had to go into them paying, they were both tied at 25, and then I was just like, I don't know how this game was going to go. I couldn't be a fortune teller anymore. I lost. I didn't know.
And it is. I'll admit, I had a few moments where I think I even said once, I thought the Bethany won that second set.
Yeah.
And it was. I thought they were going to come out and maybe beat my prediction and get that second set. But the Bearcats really brought it and put the pressure on the Bison to get those third and fourth sets in and give it their all. And they brought it.
Both teams definitely made each other work very hard. And I mean, I think both teams should be very proud of themselves. They did really good.
Yeah, it was very, very good play on both sides of the team. And I don't know how Thomas More and Geneva have done in their most recent games. They're not scored in the pack yet, but as of right now, the Bethany Bisons do lead the pack. So that's very exciting. You can be sure they're going to be celebrating tonight and that they're talking with their coaches. And the Coach Klein has to be overjoyed right now that they've taken that lead. They've taken that extra stride forward.
Yeah.
And they have a real shot at winning the pack now.
I think they could.
And Bree, we had a little competition going on behind us now. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what was going on with that?
Well, what they did was one side was like all the contestants and all like the fans and stuff, and they had 2 baskets for the volleyball center on the other side. Each person got 3 chances to spike the ball. If you got 2 balls in the same one, you got $500, and then 1 in was just a regular prize. But it didn't seem like anyone got anything behind us. I think one person did make 1 something, so they might get some sort of prize. But the $500 is still out there, so I might have to find it on my own.
And it is. You see a lot of encouragement from the Bison as far as getting their fans out here and just really appreciating the fan base that they have. And we had a great fan base today. It was a great game. Our next game coming up is going to be against Westminster, and that's also a pack game, so hopefully they'll continue to lead in the pack.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, Westminster is a very good team as well.
Very good.
So I think it's going to be, I don't know how much better of a match that you can get between the 2 teams that we just saw. So I think Westminster will be a really good team.
Definitely. Very excited to see how that match turns out.
I mean, I gotta say, games like these are the ones that you really remember.
Yeah.
The ones that you beat a lot. Like if you beat someone like 4 games to nothing, like, you know, and some of them memorable, but when you give like a fight like that with another team as good as you, that's when you really think about and the one you really try hard, like with your heart out with. So
it is. The wins you have to fight the most for are going to be the most memorable, and we definitely had a memorable game today at Bison Stadium. So with that, I think we're going to sign off. I'm Jocelyn Nelson here with Bree Steek and Heather Grinkley. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we hope to see you at our next match. And we have Haley Santemeyer serving again for the Bethany Bison. Again, one of our very strong, very powerful servers with that jump serve of hers. Julia Malk setting up Dakota McKenzie with a bump, but a little too much to the right, and that will go out of bounds, giving the ball back to the St. Vincent Bearcats.
She does take those chances, though.
And they pay off most of the time, but when they do, sometimes they just do go out of bounds. Nice little hit over the head. Oh,
they're keeping it alive. Nope.
St. Vincent Bearcats did manage to keep that ball alive a little bit longer, but they just couldn't get the control back that they needed.
I felt those hits, and I'm not even on the court.
And it is, when the Bisons put up that roof, it drops right in front of the net, and it's very hard to get back off without ending up on the other side of the court.
Yeah.
And the Bearcats do make a bit of a comeback with that after that little bit of a fumble, and the ball will return to them. Number 23 and number 11 going out for the Bearcats, bringing in number 2 and number 7, number 2 being Alyssa Luther, and number 7 being Courtney Myers. And we saw Courtney Myers doing a very good job earlier in the set, so they probably brought her back in hoping she can change up the lineup and change up the game for them.
Yeah.
Bumped over by Julia Mauk. And it's hit out of bounds by Lindsay Mant, going back to the St. Vincent Bearcats. Number 2 continuing to serve, Alyssa Luther, who is also their setter. Oh, and a beautifully read hit there, beautifully read tip by Ariel Sanders.
That was nice.
She did. She noticed that bit of a pocket and tipped it right over one of their hitters' heads, one of their front players' heads. Wonderful hit by Mackenzie Lauber, and now we're seeing her a little bit come a little more into the forefront with scoring. She's not just assisting anymore, she's showing how much power she has in a kill.
Yeah, especially taking one on her own.
Lindsay Mant serving for the Bison.
Oh.
And it was hit into the net by number 1 for the St. Vincent Bearcats, Rachel Hast, so the ball stays with the Bethany Bison. And while Lindsay Mant may not have the most powerful serve, she is very tight to the net when she serves, which serves her very well.
Yeah.
A little bit of a pun there. Serves her well. Lindsay Mant again with the serve.
Wow.
And that just hit Rachel Haas, number 1's arm. It hit on her forearm.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, instead of her front. And with that point, the set goes to the Bethany Bison.
Again, with such a young team, so much talent that will only get better if they keep doing what they're doing. So I think Bethany girls will definitely be will be good for this one.
Very much. And they have had a lot of matches this year that they've won 3 sets in a row and taken it home. So
Yeah.
I'm betting they're looking to do the same here.
Keep doing what they're doing. They should be fine, but I know Bearcats, they're trying to get a mojo going.
Anyways, this game is hugely important for them in the pack because they are in a 3-way tie right now. And you can be sure they want to break out of that 3-way tie and come out on top.
Yeah. There's no ties over here. You want to be first.
Definitely. And we're getting ready to start the match back up again. I believe the ball will be starting with the Bison, but we're going to see. We're staying with our same starting lineup for the start of this set. And the ball will be served first by Mackenzie Lauber, the setter for the Bethany Bison.
Oh.
And it is set right to the ground by the libero, number 3, Brittany George.
Just a little set mistake right there.
And it was. I'm thinking that was just getting into the set mistake.
Yeah.
They're getting back in their groove after that timeout. And they did. That was not the most put together play, but it got the job done. But Bison came back with another strong hit, and the point will stay with them, with Mackenzie Lauber continuing to serve.
That was a beautiful kill by Alexis Castro.
Oh, and it looks like number 11, Anna Christie for the Bearcats, was going for a tip there, but she just got beat to the punch.
Again with that height.
Number 11 sets up number 5. And number 5, Emily Vaughn, gets a kill for the Bearcats. And it was, I mentioned in warm-ups watching her that she was definitely one of the stronger hitters for the Bearcats.
I see that coming out now.
Seeing a serve by number 5 for the Bearcats, Emily Vaughn as well. And it's hit out of bounds, so the ball will stay with the St. Vincent Bearcats. Number 5 continuing to serve.
This crowd loves this Bethany Bison girls.
And you can hear the crowd getting a little rowdy now. Number 4, Alexis Castro, went for a hit there, didn't put all her power behind it, but it rolled along the net. Ended up giving the point back to the St. Vincent Bearcats. Too many hits for the Bethany Bison there, and the ball will still stay with the Bearcats. And we're seeing them tie up the set at 3-3.
Oh, wow.
And you can hear both the crowd and the Bethany Bison team on the sideline getting a little rowdy and wanting the Bison to get back in that group. And they do as Dakota McKenzie gets a wonderful tip right to middle court. Dakota is very good at reading a situation. And now we're bringing in Delana McKenzie. Delana is another strong player as far as putting that roof up and really blocking hits from the other team.
Yeah.
And it is served into the net by Haley Santemeyer. So the point goes right back to the St. Vincent Bearcats.
It's back and forth here.
And it is, while Haley Santemeyer is one of the most powerful servers we have, she is not necessarily the most consistent.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, that was definitely unconventional and actually really cool to watch by number 11 there, who actually bumped it back up with her foot.
Yeah.
Hey, if it gets the job done, right?
Whatever helps.
And the Bearcats actually get the point on that. That was one of the most unconventional ways I have seen in a volleyball match to keep the ball in play. But if it works, it works. And that was actually done by number 11, Anna Christie. She said, I don't care if I already fell on my butt, I'm going to get that ball off the ground.
That was like an unintentional split there.
And number 4, Alexis Castro gets the kill.
I love watching her play. She has so much power and so much enthusiasm when she plays. It feeds off of all the other teammates on the court right there.
Definitely. Alexis Castro serving very close to the net, a very nice serve. And she picks it up on a bump as well, with Delana McKenzie making the hit, but it was blocked by number 23 and number 9 for the Bearcats. Number 9 being Laura Scrogan and number 23 being Jordan Pogg. And they've been very good at blocking Bison hits recently.
Yeah, it's almost like they're reading them before they even try to get those hits in.
Definitely. They're starting to see who our main outside hitters are and how to block them. They're reading the situation a lot better in this set. That was a hit by the Bearcats, but it was returned by Mackenzie Lauber. A hit by Lindsay Mant, returned by number 3, again the libero for the Bearcats.
Oh.
And it's hit out of bounds, so the ball will return to the Bethany Bison with Lindsay Mant serving. See our outside hitters communicating a little bit, figuring out how they wanted to play this next volley. Oh!
Almost kept alive.
And that was a nice attempt at a dig there by Julia Malk, but it just didn't get high enough in the air to get it back into play.
Yeah. That's a nice attempt. Wow.
Hit out of bounds, served out of bounds by the St. Vincent Bearcats. Delana McKenzie leaving to bring in Dakota Haley Santemeyer off court as well. Bring in number 13, Kelly Bequette. And we're still seeing a lot of hard work by Brittany George for the Bearcats. A very consistent player for the Bison. And that ball just almost touched the roof of Hummel Fieldhouse here.
Yeah.
And it did. When it got that high, it just got out of control, and the point will go to Lindsay Mant, or to the St. Vincent Bearcats.
Bearcats are leading. Wow.
Wonderful dig by Brittany George, number 3 for the Bearcats. And a beautiful hit to the back corner by Delana McKenzie, or Dakota McKenzie. We brought on the other twin.
She might still be there in spirit, too.
It is. Sometimes if I don't see the hair length there, it throws me off a little bit on which one we see playing, but that was a beautiful hit to the back corner. And it's hit out of bounds, and the ball will return to the Bearcats. Number 23 coming in for the Bearcats, number 23 being Jordan Hogg. Nice return by Lindsay Mant, but it is out of bounds. It went over the net. I think she was going to set up Dakota to make a set towards one of their outside hitters.
Bison's got to get something going here. Come back to a lead.
Lindsay Mant gets it over to the setter, Mackenzie Lauber, who gets it to Dakota for a hit, but it is blocked by numbers 19 and 23, again, for the Bearcats, and they seem to be their strongest blockers as a team.
Yeah.
Very strong work as a team. And it is, you start to see people almost pairing up on either side with Sanders and Mackenzie Lauber on our side, and with numbers 23 and 19 on their side, Jordan Hogg and Allie Lebowski. We see the Bearcats do change up their setters fairly often.
Yeah, I don't know if that's part of like a strategy or what. Oh.
On it is set to the ground by number 5, Emily Vaughn. It is. I want to see Emily Vaughn start hitting again for the Bearcats because that seems to be a strong place for her.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Lauber sending her behind her to Lindsay Mant. Lindsay Mant with the hit over to the Bearcats.
Oh.
Number 5 gets the kill from the Bearcats, Emily Vaughn.
Well, you were just talking about,
Yep.
There's that hit.
And it is. She is a strong hitter for the St. Vincent Bearcats, and they need to get her more in that front row.
She's one to look out for the Bearcats.
She's done very well in the back row as well as far as down balls.
Oh.
Number 1 with the kill there, Rachel Hast for the St. Vincent Bearcats. And finally, we're starting to see their execution come a little more into play. She saw that empty pocket in the middle of the court and went for it, and it paid off.
Yeah.
And the ball stays with the Bearcats. The score currently 10-14, gearing towards the Bearcats. Oh, and again, Rachel Hast with a point for the Bearcats. Rachel Hast really stepping up her game this set. Between Rachel Hast and Emily Vaughn, the Bearcats are making a huge comeback.
Yeah, definitely.
Leading by 5 points right now.
Whatever that break that did to the Bearcats, it seems to be working out for them. But now the Bethany Bison's got to figure out what they got to do to get back up there on that board.
They must have gotten one heck of a speech from their coach and their libero during that timeout between the sets.
Probably like, we don't care that their record is better than ours. We're still going to play like we're champions.
And they're doing very well, leading 5-10 right now. And we're seeing the Bison really in almost a heated discussion, but they're still shaking their heads yes, so they seem to be agreeing with everything their coach says. Mm-hmm. And you can bet they're going to be picking up their game.
Yeah, definitely.
They're not going to take anything lying down, really. And it is. This second set seems to be where the most faltering happens for the Bethany Bison.
I do not know why. Well, some people seem to think, well, on this side of the court, it's not really their strong side. No, they're
the bad luck side.
Yeah, bad luck side.
Which is very good luck for the Bearcats, and you can be sure they're hoping they stay over there.
Yeah.
We're seeing our starting lineup again in position, hoping that will get them through the rest of this set. Kelly Bequette returning the serve. And Alexis Castro with a point right out of the gates of that timeout. Wonderful tip right to middle court.
Yeah. That looked like some miscommunication on the Bearcat side. They had like 3 girls hovering over like one ball.
And we got Delana McKenzie and Haley Santemeyer back in for the Bisons with Haley Santemeyer serving.
Oh,
and it's served into the net by Haley Santemeyer.
That was a strong hit though.
And it is, but again, we're seeing her inconsistency a little bit, but she is the strongest hitter on our team, so you cannot fault the Bison for continuing to put her in to serve. And number 19 serving it into the net for the Bearcats.
It's like a net game. Nothing but net.
And is Alexis Castro hoping to break this streak a little bit and get a really good volley going.
Yeah.
And she serves it over the net, and it's returned by number 5. Oh, Lindsay Mant with an attempt at a dig there. She managed to keep it up off the ground a little bit, but it just shot straight out at a bad angle and went under that net.
See, Bethany Bison's getting a little bit frustrated.
Bringing in number 2, Alyssa Luther for the Bearcats, their setter again, maybe hoping that she can mix things up a little bit. Oh, and she has a jump serve on her too. That is the first jump serve we've seen out of her today. Oh, and it's bumped over the net by number 5, Emily Vaughn. But hit over by Delana McKenzie, and the point will go to the Bethany Bison.
She looked like she hesitated on that one.
Delana McKenzie and Dakota McKenzie are both very good at reading when it's time to go for that strong kill and when it's time to just tip it over and see how they handle that lighter touch.
Yeah.
Oh, and number 7 for the Bearcats, Courtney Myers, going for a strong hit there, but hits it into the net. So Lindsay Mant will continue to serve for the Bethany Bison. Oh, and number 1 just bopping it over the net there. Rachel Haas, very well read again. Rachel is really on a roll today.
Yeah.
Very good for the Bearcats. They got a few players that are really getting in their groove now, and it's getting those points for them. Set by Mackenzie Lauber, hit by Ariel Sanders, and it's a kill. And again, we're seeing that combination of Lauber and Sanders really serving the Bethany Bison well today. Bringing in Kelly Bequette and Dakota McKenzie again. Anyways, who do you think is the strongest pair on either team right now? I'm interested because I've been mentioning who I think our strong pairs are, but I want to know what you think.
Definitely whenever Alexis Castro is up there, and whoever else is with her, I can't remember the name, but that's definitely a good team match for me.
Oh, and it's hit to the corner by the Bearcats, and the point will go back to them with their liberos serving Brittany George. And I'm surprised she isn't tiring out a little bit more here because she has really been working back in that line. Very strong defensive specialist. Oh, and a strong kill there by Dakota McKenzie.
Feel the energy picking up there on the girls' Bison side.
Is Dakota's power really overwhelming the Bearcats today?
Yeah.
Served by Julia Mauk. And it's returned by number 5, Emily Vaughn. Nice save there by Kelly Bequette, but the point does go to the Bearcats.
Mackenzie tried to dig for that one. Couldn't quite dig there in time.
Yeah. Serving for the Bearcats, number 11, Anna Christie. Christie just getting it over the net, barely. Hit by Alexis Castro, but it's blocked by the Bearcats. Mackenzie Lauber setting up Dakota. Bearcats returning with a strong hit by number 23, and even though it was walled up, they managed to catch it.
Oh.
And Dakota McKenzie with the kill.
Couldn't really match up with that hit there.
Number 4 for the Bearcats, Jessica Welteroth, touched that before it went out of bounds, so.
Bison is slowly but surely creeping up there underneath the Bearcats.
Bearcats at 21 right now, needing 4 more to win this set, and you can be sure they want to win it and really stay in this game.
Yeah.
And we got our Bison ladies who are on the sideline right now, really trying to gear up their team. Oh, and it's hit into the net by Dakota McKenzie. Let's just go through all of my volleyball terminology before we get the right. Number 5.